Guys, please check your audio and video settings. Guys, please check your audio and video settings, please. Please check your audio and video settings, please.
ये फोटो नहीं आ रही है तो खिंच रही फोटो तो
Yeah, I disable the audio, don't worry. Yes. Yesterday we have seen different ways of creating object for java.lang.class here. One is by using forName method. One is by using getClass method. Come on. And one is by using what? One is by using class property. What property are? Class property. One is class.forName. One is getClass method. Other one is what? Class property. Are you getting my point there? Yes. The best is class property, or easiest way is also class property, because compiler generates one class property in every dot class that is generating for every class. So you can just use that dot class property to get the object of java.lang.class. What's the use of it, sir? In a running Java application, what application? In a running Java application, if you want to hold class name or interface name or enum name or what? Annotation name. Okay, in a variable. That variable should be of type, okay, java.lang.class. That means that variable should be taken as the object of java.lang.class. Understanding my statement there or not there? Okay. Fine here. So now let us concentrate on, after that we discussed about proxy design pattern. What pattern? Proxy design pattern. What this proxy design pattern says? Proxy means dummy duplicate that looks like a real, and it internally uses real. For certain services, it internally uses real. Okay, boss. What's the use of proxy design pattern? Proxy design pattern says add new functionalities dynamically without touching the source code of what? Existing functionalities. Existing functionalities. That's the basic nature of what? Proxy design pattern. It will dynamically add new functionality without touching the source code of what? Existing functionalities. But while writing this new functionality, internally it may use what? Existing functionality. But while working with the proxy, we always in the feeling we are working with a real. That is another beauty part that is there. Okay, boss. But whenever you are developing proxy class, that should implement a component interface. Okay. And that should also have a real object. That should also have a real object. Sir, why it should component interface? So that okay, client can refer real object, proxy object in a similar fashion. Why it should have a real object internally? Then only it can use real objects as well, relational functionalities. So that's the reason proxy class should implement bank service. Proxy class should have bank service IMPL class object. Understanding my point there or not there? Super great. File new. Yes. Let's go for let's go for yes, Subhanshu Gautam. Yes, you can go for loading objects. Loading object. This is our requirement, boss. What do you mean by loading object? Subhanshu Gautam or anyone else, please listen. I think this you everyone might have faced this problem. Everyone, please listen. Those are having this problem, please listen. Yeah. If you are not able to see, if you are not able to see those check boxes to create the columns, you have to adjust your screen resolution. You have to adjust your screen resolution. Go to desktop, display settings. Here you have to adjust screen resolution. Make sure that 100% is there, then it will come. If it is 125%, 150%, it will not come. Okay. It's adjustment of screen resolution here because very small designing they have done. Okay. Many things they adjusted in one place. If you reduce the screen resolution to 100%, then everything is appears. 125%, 150%, it is not going to reflect. That's for sure. Yeah. What is this loading object was? But before loading object, I want to discuss one more thing. Anyhow, Saturday, na, we will discuss some miscellaneous discussion. Hibernate, Hibernate utility class. Util class. Hibernate util class. After that, I will take. Okay, na? After that, I will take. Don't worry. What is this, sir? Utility classes means helper classes, useful classes. That such classes are utility classes, boss. Utility classes are helper classes that are required in multiple parts of project representing boilerplate code. Representing boilerplate code. The code that repeats is called boilerplate code. You know that, na? The code that repeats is called what? Boilerplate code. Listen here. Let us assume I have 3 client applications. How many client applications here? 3 client applications. First, second. Okay, right now 2 are there. You observe. You open the code of first client application, my dear. Configuration, calling configure method, creating session factory, opening session. Repeating or not? You look at the same thing. Again, these 3 object creation process repeating or not? Come on, guys. Come on. I want reply from you people. I want reply from everyone. Come on, guys. Suppose like this 10 client applications are there here. In all 10 client application, okay, configuration object creation, session factory object creation, session object creation is repeating code or not. And at the end, closing session factory, closing session, that is also repeating code or not there. This is also repeating code. Writing in multiple client applications is good or bad? I want to write once and I want to use in multiple client application. So then better to go for what? Utility class or not there. Better to go for what? Utility. Let layer. I think having basic idea. It. If you the those don't feel like the guys, are you back? Are you back now? Are you able to listen? Am I audible to you? Guys, not responding. Guys, what's happening? Are you able to listen me or not? Guys, please check your audio and video settings. Please check your audio and video settings, please. Yeah. Yes. Listen carefully. I think now voice is not breaking. Audio and video is good. Yeah. Once in a while, we have to restart the router also. Restart is required everywhere, it seems. Fine, yeah. Okay. Now focus. Instead of writing logic to create configuration object, session factory object, and session object in multiple client application or in multiple methods of multiple DAO classes, better to write only for one time in a separate Hibernate util class and use them for a lot of time and use them for multiple times. Understanding my point there? Okay. So use them for multiple times. So at that particular time, think about placing that code in Hibernate util.java, which is also called Hibernate utility, whatever it is. Generally, people takes word Hibernate util only. If you want, you can take some other name also. But quite industry standard terminology here, Hibernate util.java. But one issue is there. In entire application, we have to take only one session factory object, one configuration object, and session object required multiple times. Understanding my statement there or not there? Session object required multiple times. Let us assume in DAO class 10 methods are there. All 10 methods should start using same configuration object, same session factory object, but every method should have its own session object. In my project, 20 DAO classes are there. In each DAO, 5 methods, 20 into 500 methods. All these 100 methods should use same configuration object, same session factory object, because we have to create them on one per database in each application, right? But every method should use its own session object. 100 methods na, we should be in a position to work with 100 session objects. So we should design, are you understanding my point? We should design Hibernate util class such a fashion configuring session factory object should be created what? One per database in entire application, and the session object should be created for what? Multiple time for multiple persistent operations. So it is not just keeping the code of what? Creating these three objects in Hibernate util class. You should use some common sense. We should use some maturity while writing that Hibernate util class, boss. Guys, please come back. I think today this net is giving trouble here. This net is giving trouble today. This up and down bandwidth is up and down. That's the problem. Okay, please come back. No, it's up and down. It's continuously down. We can do something. If continuously up, you can do something. Hmm. Yes, yes. Listen, listen. Yeah. So we should write a such a Hibernate util class. We should create configuration object, session factory object, one per database in entire application or project, and session object for one per each persistence operation. I said, nah, I have a 5 DAO classes, each DAO 10 methods, 5 into 10, 50 method. All 50 methods execution should happen based on single configuration object, single session factory object. And every method should get its own session object. In most of the cases, every method should get its own session object. Are you getting my point there? Because every method try to do one persistence operation, and it's better to have a separate session object for every persistence operation. I already said session object is the short-lived object. For every persistence operation, we try to take same different session object. I hope you remembered all this stuff. I hope you remembered all this stuff or not there. Yes. So instead of placing the logic to create configuration comma session factory comma session objects, the logic to create configuration comma session factory comma session objects in 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 every client application or in every method of DAO class, every method of multiple DAO classes, it is recommended to place only for one time, only for one time in separate Hibernate util dot Java class, util class, Hibernate util class. So generally we will take the file name as Hibernate util dot Java. Not compulsory here, any name you can give. Hibernate util dot Java. But always remember here, in this Hibernate util dot Java, in this Hibernate util dot Java, we should create session factory comma configuration objects one objects one per database software in the entire application, super. We should create session object on either on one per each persistence operation, one per each persistence operation, or one per related persistence operation, One per related persistence operations basis. We should create session object either on one per each persistence operation or one per related persistence operations basis. Related persistence operations basis. Understanding my statement there or not there? Yeah, this is two strategies are there for session object creation. Either one per each persistence operation. No, using one session object, I'm trying to do 2, 3 related persistence operation. Then go for what? You have to create one session object for 2, 3 related persistence operation. For example, my session object work is just inserting record, one per each persistence operation. Leave it. My session object work is a transfer money. Transfer money will be completed by using what? Withdraw amount on source account, deposit amount on destination account. Both are related persistence operation, and both should be done by using single connection. Single connection means single connection, single session, because session is nothing but connection plus plus. Come on, session is nothing but connection. I think you are thinking logically here. Each persistence operation is independent with other. Go for one per each persistence operation. No, persistence operations are related. They are related to each other. They are related to each other. The interdependency is there among the 2, 3 persistence operation. To complete all the 2, 3 persistence operation, use what? One session object. Use what? One session object. I hope you are understanding my statement there or not there. Come on, guys. Okay. So here, let me save this one. Loading objects 25th July. Loading objects 25th July. Tell me here. Okay. For use case. Single row operations. Single row operation. Here use case. Transfer money. Having withdraw comma deposit operations. Having withdraw comma deposit operations. Everyone got the clarity? I want you people to understand this requirement first nicely, then remaining story. Okay? Yeah. Today I'm going to highlight this model only. One per related persistence operation I will talk later. I'm going to highlight this model. One per each persistence operation. Okay, na? Right. Yeah, this is the thing. And now tell me, session factory configuration object should be created one per database software in the entire application. What is the right place to create session factory object configuration object in Hibernate util.java? Anyone can guess? That means their code should execute one time. What is the better place to place one time executing logics, boss? What is the better place to place one time executing logics? What is the better place to place one time executing logics? Constructor is there, static block is there. Come on. Constructor is there, static block is there. Now tell me, according to our application, which block you prefer? Constructor block or static block? I want everyone should reply. Maximum people are giving correct answer. I'm really happy. Maximum people are giving correct answer. I'm really happy. But I want you people to analyze and tell me, why not constructor, why static block? Why not constructor, why it is static block? Array, constructor means I should also create object for Hibernate util class. Are you interested? No, listen. Are you interested to create object for Hibernate util? No. Are you interested in object of Hibernate util? No. You are interested in the objects written by Hibernate util, right? Objects written by Hibernate util. That's why we will try to take all the methods as static methods. Since we are taking all the methods of utility class as static method, is there any chance of having constructor? No. Is there any chance of having constructor? No. So when constructor chance is not there, what is the right option to keep these one-time executing logics? Static block. Use brain, use brain. Utility classes generally does not contain instance method. We always go for static method. You take any utility class here. I think while learning JDBC with me, while learning servlets with me, IO dot copy. IO is one utility class here. In that class also, all the methods are static methods. All the methods are static method. When all methods are static method, people will think about creating object for the utility class. No. On the class name, they call the methods directly. So that means no question of having constructor. And I don't find any reason to have an object for utility classes. Because I call methods on utility class, those methods will give other objects. And we want to, you are interested in those objects. Yes or no? Na? Right. So one note. What is the right place to keep this logic here? Static block. This is the right place to keep static block. Okay. What about what is the right place to keep this logic? Static method. Understanding my point there? Yes. Mr. Nitin, we cannot say this is a factory class. Why, sir? Factory returns one of the several related objects. One interface, two, three implementation classes based on the data we pass, it will create one object. It is not like that. It is not like that. It is not factory. It is not factory. It is not factory. Ashman Kurma. Yes, you can go for interface with a static method. But I have a question. I too don't know. You correct. You try to revise and tell me. Can I place static block in the interface? Can I take static block in the interface? No. Since not possible, so Hibernate util should be class only. Hibernate util should be class only. It should not be interface. Because we are concentrating on methods. I am concentrating on block also. Just now I said importance of creating session factory and configuration objects in the static block. Yes or no? Na? Right. Okay. Logic to close given session object. Why? There are so many session objects. Na? Come on. Logic to close given session object. Static method. Static method. Logic to close session factory object. This is also one static method. This is also by using static methods. Okay, Vignan, static method means we have to call. Static block means it will call execute automatically. Tell me, when the entire application is ready to use, same session factory object, same configuration object, better to create automatically, na? The moment class is loaded. Better to create automatically the moment class is loaded. What is need of someone coming and calling static method? So that's why static block is good, static method is good for creating session factory, comma, configuration object. Moreover, Moreover, if we keep the logic of creating session factory comma configuration object in the static method, if that method is called 200 times, unnecessarily 200 times session factory object is created, 200 time configuration object is created. We want to avoid we should not avoid we should avoid. We should avoid means what is the right place? Static block is the right place. Think. You studied core Java static block, JDBC class initial static block. So now you'll understand real power of the static block in today's class. If someone asks you where did you use static block, you can directly say this one, and people will appreciate your maturity. This is the code here. This is the code. Understanding my point there? Okay. Java 8 interface can have static methods but cannot have static block. So don't take don't take Hibernate util.java as static as Java 8 interface. As Java 8 interface. That's the one clarity. Another clarity. Mm. Factory class return one of the several implementation, one of the several related classes object, whereas utility class return different object by calling different methods different methods different classes by calling different methods. I think you understood the difference between utility class and factory class. No confusion now. No confusion now. Come on, guys. One factory at maximum will have one static method returning one of the several related class objects. One of the several related class objects. One of the several related class objects. Related classes object. Okay. Whereas utility class return different objects by calling different methods. Different objects by calling different methods. So at max, factory class contains one factory method, whereas utility classes contain multiple static factory methods. Static factory method returning different objects. At maximum, factory class contains one static or non-static. It can be static, it can be non-static. Not compulsory, it should be static or non-static. Whereas utility classes contain multiple static factory method returning different objects. Simply returning different objects. Everyone got the clarity there or not there? Come on, guys. Understood my point here? So that's why don't think that utility class and what? Utility class and what? Factory class is same. Both are different. Okay, listen. Session factory is a factory. Open session is one factory method. It can be static, it can be non-static. Sometimes you take static factory method in the factory class, sometimes you'll take non-static. But in utility class, all methods will be static. They are the static factory method. Every static factory method can returns one object. Okay, different factory methods of utility class return different objects. They are nowhere related to each other. Come on. They are nowhere related to each other. I hope you convinced with me or not there. So examples for factory classes. What is this? Session factory, bean factory, session factory, bean factory, car factory, like this. Examples for utility classes. Examples for utility classes. Okay. Examples for utility classes. Hmm. Collections, arrays, collections, arrays. I hope you remembered. Collections, arrays. Next one, hibernate util, IO util, IO util. If you are learning spring beans util, if you are learning spring beans util, beans util. If you are learning string utils, string utils like this, we have a lot of names, boss. Lot of names. Okay, today what we are developing is factory. What we are developing is utility class. Is not factory. Is it returning one of the several session objects? No. Is it returning one of the several session objects? No. Is it returning one of the several session factory objects? No. Is it returning one of the several configuration class objects? No. Come on, guys. Understanding my point there or not there? Hmm. One more note. Code is very simple here. Code is very simple, but why we are writing those lines in the code? That makes a lot of sense. Code is there, 2 lines of code we'll write and we'll enjoy. What is there in that? Fine. Here, let's see. Note. What is the note I should talk? The note goes like this. The note goes like this. Since the entire application is ready to use single session factory, comma, configuration object. Single session factory, comma, configuration object on object per database software basis. Per database software basis. Per database software basis. Since the entire application is ready to use single session factory, comma, configuration objects per database software basis, it is better to create them in the static block of hibernate util class so that they will be created automatically the moment hibernate util class is loaded. So we need not to separately ask for object creation also. Directly, indirectly, you try to load Hibernate util class, automatically that part will be taken care. Sir, I'm not here to keep suspense for long time. Let's open the suspense and let's go for what? Hibernate util.java. Hibernate util.java. Fine here. Public class Hibernate util. Public class Hibernate util. That's cool. Private static. Sir, why are you taking as a class level variable? Private static session factory. Session factory. I didn't understand why are you taking it, sir? Array, if I don't take session factory here, number one, how can I close that session factory by taking one static method? How can I create session object by taking another static method? Because to create session object also I need session factory. Nah. To create session object also I need session factory. Nah, my dear. Come on. Static. Guys, got it. You're understanding my point. Okay, boss. Listen here. Hibernate throws what? Unchecked exception. Okay. So that whenever exception is raised, they will be propagated. And in layered application, exception propagation is very important. Anyhow, by default, unchecked exceptions will be propagated automatically. That's a good news. You need not to worry about exception propagation in Hibernate separately. But static methods can propagate, normal methods can propagate exception, but static blocks cannot propagate. Guys, tell me, static blocks cannot propagate. Are you understanding my point there? Static blocks cannot propagate, but static methods can propagate. So that's why, so since static blocks cannot propagate the exception, cannot pass the exception to other classes, cannot pass the exception, better to catch and handle it. Better to display them, display the problems in the static block itself. Understanding my point there? Super. That's why what you have to do, yes, we have to catch and handle exceptions here itself. So for that purpose, what I'm doing, uh, configuration. Configuration CFZ is equal to null. Here is my try block. Here is my what try block. Bootstrap Hibernate. Already declared factory at the top. CFZ dot catch Hibernate exception he dot print stack trace. he dot print stack trace. He dot print stack trace. Guys, 1 minute. I'll take a small copy in the notepad. I'll take a copy in the notepad. Guys came here. Tell me. Sir, session factory also you can write inside the static block na, sir. Array, if I write session factory inside the static block, how can I create session object in other methods? Okay, fine. Catch exception E. Exception E. Catch what? Exception E. E dot print stack trace. Yes. But static block cannot propagate the exceptions. Please concentrate. Maybe you have to use log files to show the exceptions related to static block. Understanding my point there. Static block cannot propagate the exceptions. Is that clear? Right. Subham Ratore. Then also static block cannot do that. Maybe you have to use log files to in order to show log messages. Okay. No, listen. I don't have any reusability for this configuration object while creating session, while closing session factory. That's why I have taken inside the static block. But I have a more reusability that factory in multiple places. That's the reason. That's the reason I am going. In you from static block exception propagation is not possible. Only exception suppression is possible. That means handling is possible. That's the reason. If you feel there is a problematic code in the static block, you have to catch and handle the exception. You have to catch and handle the exception. This is very small matured statement. Since the static blocks, since the static block cannot propagate the exception. Yeah, you are same old strike static block only, but we are learning in a different attitude. Propagate the exception. So we catch and handle the exception. We catch and handle the exception. At least to write the exception related messages to log files. See, ultimately propagation is great, but we are forced to write code in static block. So propagation is not possible. At least catch and handle and write the messages to log file. If not on the browser, if not for the end user, at least in the log file, people can see, can understand where is the problem. See, boss, ultimately propagation is great. Displaying for end user is great. Maybe on the browser, maybe on the console who is running the client application. But somehow our requirement is happy with the static block. Okay, we have to use static block because that is the best. But problem with the static block is propagation is not possible. At least you have to think about catching, handling, and writing to log files by using log4j kind of concept or some other concept. At least think about catch it and handle it and write to the log file. I hope you are thinking with maturity. I hope you are thinking with maturity. I hope I am succeeded. I hope you are understanding the word propagation of exception, displaying for end user. Since that is not possible, at least think about writing to log file. So if end user is not there, at least a person who is maintaining the project can see the log file, can understand the problem, can see the log file and can understand the problem. Come on. Sorry, right? Don't write try catch. I will just write these two lines of code because I know that these lines of code also generating unchecked exceptions only. Okay, that time what happened? No message on the browser, no message on the console, no log message. When problem comes, nowhere you will get the notification, especially when you get the problem in these lines. That's why at least you have to think about recording that problem in the log file so that people can see the log file, can understand the problem. People can see the log file, can understand the problem. I think with the knowledge of Hibernate, with the knowledge of Servlet, with the knowledge of what your core Java, now you are thinking Hibernate in a matured manner. I hope I'm making you people to think with little maturity, right? Convinced, boss? Yeah, for log4, yeah, for logging, definitely some log4j configuration, other configurations are required. Right now, I'm not doing. Right now, I'm not doing. If at all we do, if at all we do, at least there is a chance of recording the problem to log files. Right now, I'm not doing it. I do agree that. Everyone clear on this point? Everyone clear on this point? Come on. Yeah, generally we take Hibernate util on one per database. Yes. We take it on one per database software basis. We take it on one per database software basis. Yeah, now listen. Public static session get session. Get session. Public static session get session. Yeah. If at all factory created successfully. If factory not equal to null. If factory not equal to null. Tell me. Return factory dot open session. Return factory dot open session. Someone asks, what is the difference between get session and open session? Tell them, array, get session is user defined method, better not to compare with open session. One more method is there, get current session. I will explain that one later. Get current session is a predefined method which is there in the factory itself. I will talk about that later. I will talk about that later. Next one, public static. Hey, easy na? If factory is created, if factory is already created, return the session object. Guys, easy or not easy? Public void closed session. Tell me, in one project, one session will be there or lot of sessions will be there? Lot of sessions will be there. When lot of sessions are there, okay, we have to specify which session to close or not. Session SCS. If session not equal to null, session dot close. Session not equal to null, session dot close. Then we are having public static void close session factory. Yeah, there is only one session factory, boss. Already it is there as a global variable. If factory not equal to null, factory dot close. Factory dot close. Factory not equal to null, factory dot close. Fine. End of this one. End of this class. End of the class. I think you enjoyed Hibernate util class here. Okay, then what I will do? In client application or DAO class. Client application or DAO class. Interesting part, session SCS is equal to Session SCS is equal to factory dot open session. Sorry. Hibernate util dot get session. Hibernate util dot get session. Fine here. Hibernate util dot get session. Mr. Ganesh, you have one complaint here from admin people. On you, one complaint is there from admin people. I don't know whether you are that Ganesh or some other Ganesh. Okay. That Ganesh or some other Ganesh. WhatsApp groups and content you share in the WhatsApp groups. Please correct urgently. Guys, I found some people are creating WhatsApp groups with my name, WhatsApp group with batch IDs. I am not entertaining such groups. Okay. I am not entertaining such groups. Understanding my point? If anyone is doing like that, urgently delete the groups. Urgently delete the groups. Because some people are misusing that groups. I am providing Facebook group to share your content, to discuss your subject. Understanding my point? And some people are like harassing girls in the groups also. Harassing girls in the groups also. Okay, their intentions are wrong. So officially, I don't have control on those groups. Whatever I whatever group came to my notice, I am asking them to delete. If they are not deleting, my admin people will proceed legally. My admin people will proceed legally. For my batches, I don't entertain any kind of groups because people intentions are looking very wrong in the groups. Not only sharing meeting IDs, that is the first problem. Okay, everything is there in our group. In when you post question in the group, not only current batch, not only current batch students will answer, senior working people will answer. I only sometimes I only personally replying for your some of your queries. So that's why stop creating groups, stop misusing them. I don't have any control. I am personally not asking create. Someone creates, if you join, that is your karma. Later, don't complain that happened, this happened, that harassment happened, this harassment happened, that guy kept this message, this guy kept that message. I am not answerable for that. If you are already there in such groups, come out, because very soon we are planning to take legal actions on them, because they don't have any right to collect information from our batches and create the groups. Yes, in your friend circle, you create a group. I don't have 10 members, create a group, discuss the subject, share your problems, share your personal life. I don't have any problem. But taking my name, taking institute name, taking our course name, and inviting our batch students into that group and misusing the content is really not entertaining. Really not entertained. Later tomorrow, if some criminal activity happened or some misuse happened, I will say I am not responsible. And moreover, we only recommend people to go legal actions. Because recently one, two cases happened. One, two cases happened. So that's why stop creating groups. If you are already there in the groups, come out of that, become member in our Facebook group, because there I'm that group is in my control. Anything wrong, I can control it. Anything wrong, I can control it. Yes, sharing meeting IDs is a small problem here. That is the least problem. Some other big problems are happening. Trapping girls. So many things are happening. See, when faculty is officially providing group, Naresh ID officially providing group. Okay. So what is the need of this kind of group? I heard there is a group called Java Developers Group. Java Developers Group. And that group is doing lot of hangama. 2, 3 cases came out. Fine, you are habituated, fine, yeah, but now here we are providing Facebook group. Nah, what's the problem in that? What's the problem in that? Stop doing that nonsense. Java world, Java developer, this kind of groups we found. This kind of groups we found. Their intentions also we are observing. One, two people of our admin people recently have become members of that group. They are all observing, they are all recording their intentions, everything. Okay, our people only will go to cybercrime and will hand over the screenshots of those groups. I'm seriously telling, our people have become secret members of those groups. They are recording all the things. They are taking screenshots. Okay, one day red-handedly you will be caught and your life will be wasted. Your life will be wasted unnecessarily for small entertainment. Don't keep your life in trouble. Don't keep your career in trouble. These are small entertainments of life. Okay. They are small entertainments of this life. See, I am not going to personally hand over here. Our admin team is there. Naresh ID is a big organization. Different teams are there. Now they are becoming members of those team groups. Okay, wherever Naresh IT, faculty, our batches involvement is there. They are observing carefully. Okay, so they are recording everything, they are taking screenshots. Okay, so the moment any vulgarity found, any misuse found, like sharing meeting IDs kind of thing, so happily they will go to police station, they will do crime, legal things, because no one wants to kill their business. Simple common sense. Naresh IT is providing best quality training at a reasonable price. One course is equal to one jeans pant you purchase. One course is equal to 1-2 days food expenditure you do in outside. But still you are misusing that also. Still you are misusing that also. And moreover, other problems also there in the group. Trapping the girls, harassing the girls. Intentions are looking very wrong in the groups. So that's why our people already started from last 10 days monitoring is done. Okay. So next 1 week, definitely actions will be there. Be mentally prepared. Fine. Session SCS is equal to hibernate util dot get session. Hibernate util dot get session. Understanding my point? Okay. First, let me explain this. Hibernate util dot get session. Array, when I call method, first of all, class should be loaded. When class is loaded, static block executes. What are static blocks? Static blocks. Are you understanding my point there? Static block. In a static block, anyhow, configure session factories are created. Then get session method execute. Using factory, session object is created and written. And we use that session object for regular hangama. We use that session object for regular hangama. At the end, what we do? Hibernate util dot close session. Yes. Hibernate util dot close session factory. Close session factory. Okay. Someone is asking me one innocent question. Why are you taking static methods to get to close the session, to close the session factory? Use your common sense. Use your common sense. If they are non-static method, again I need to create Hibernate util class object now. Are you interested in Hibernate util object? Are you having any interest to create Hibernate util object? I think Mr. Subhansu Gautam, are you interested to create okay Hibernate util object? No. Then, but you want to call these methods. So which methods can be called without object? Static method. That's the reason. That's the reason. That's one more reason. Another reason is, another reason is, if they are static method, directly I can call on the class name. No need of object. Okay, no need of. Moreover, the session factory is there as a static. Static data is visible in all methods, only in static methods. Only in static methods. That's the reason we are again taking static. Everyone convinced with me? One more angle. Sir, while creating session, you are passing session object as parameter. But while closing session factory, you are not passing factory as a parameter. Tell me, in entire application per database, how many session factories will be there? One. So that's why, is there any need of passing? Is there any need of passing session factory? No. One factory is there, we are closing that one. Now tell me, in one application, for multiple persistence operation, we will take one session or multiple sessions? Multiple session. Okay, when multiple sessions are there, you should have a clarity which session you want to close or not. You should have a clarity which session you want to close or not. That's why you have to pass the session. Which session you want to close, that session you have to pass. Guys, everyone thoroughly understood this point. Tell me here, am I separately creating objects for session factory and configuration? No, no. I'm asking for session. In that process, Hibernate util class will be loaded. Okay, when it is loaded, static block execute. When static block executes, automatically the process will be taken. Automatically the process will be taken. Guys, everyone thoroughly understood this point. So shall I make my project working with this? Shall I make my project working with this utility class here? Utility class. What do you say? Yes, not using Gradle. Next project we use Gradle. Hibernate Pros 4. Hibernate Pros 4. Save object. Hibernate util class. Hibernate util class. Fine. I'm taking a separate package here. I'm taking a separate package here. Today onwards, every day we are going to work with Hibernate util class. com.nt.utility. In future, I will improvise utility class also. For the timing, this is the minimum util class here. See, I'm taking you slowly near to real time. I'm taking you slowly near to real time. In spring also we did that. In Hibernate also we are doing that. Okay. I'm introducing one by one. In one mini projects, laid applications we develop. Okay, na? Right. So let's see. com.nt.utility. com.nt.utility. Right click, new class. Hibernate util. What is this? Hibernate util. Yes. Control plus shift plus O. Yes. End of the static block. Yes, please take proper classes to import. Hibernate exception. Hibernate exception. What is this static block? Why red color? Oh, why red color should come? Catch exception E dot print stack trace. E dot print stack trace. Try is over. Okay, one more class. Yes, now you place it class level. Fine, no problem. Public static session get session. Hey, get session is not a predefined name here. Any name you can do. On safe side, because there's a possibility of not creating session. So session return factory dot to open session. Factory dot to open session. Return factory dot to open session. Control plus shift plus O. Okay, now we have to worry about else part. Else return null. Okay, why that hangama? 1 minute. Session SCS is equal to null. Then what I will do? SCS is equal to this. Return SCS. What is that? Return SCS. Okay. But here how to handle that, sir? Here how to handle that, sir? No, suppose I decided to write like this only. Else, else, return null. Else, return null. Else, return null. Yes, it has to return null. Here also same thing here. If created, session object will be written. Otherwise, null will be written. Cool. Next, public static, public static void close session. Session SCS. Close session SCS. Tell me if factory not equal to null. No, sorry. Session not equal to null. Session not equal to null. Session dot close. Session dot close. Nice. Public static void. Public static void. Tell me. Close session factory. Close session factory. Tell me. Factory not equal to null. Then what? Factory dot close. Factory not equal to null. Then what? Factory dot close. Everyone clear on this point? Yes. Clear on this point. I want reply from you people. Come on. Factory session not equal to null. Session dot close. Factory not equal to null. Factory dot close. Superb, superb. Now time has come to use this one in the client application. In future, we will try to use in DAOs, but right now we have to use this place. No, all these are not required. Session only enough. Session only enough. Yeah, all these are not required. Get hibernate session object. Get hibernate session object. Factor, yeah, no. Hibernate util dot. Hibernate util dot. Get session. Hibernate util dot get session. Remaining stuff is same, boss. But here, instead of writing session dot close, what is this? Hibernate util dot close session of SS. Next, instead of writing factory dot close, hibernate util dot close session factory. Guys, you got the clarity now? This is one application. This client application is okay. So you call session dot get session, hibernate util dot get session any number of times. Okay, but it will use single session factory, single configuration, but multiple session objects will be created. Run on Java. Control F11 can be used. Oh, what's the problem? Detached entity cannot be passed. I will tell what is the reason. Maybe in the makefile I configured a generator and I am using persist method. Generator persist method, invalid combination, right? Generator persist method, invalid combination. So that's the reason it is not working. If I comment, this, here is my Java application. SQL integrity exception. Yes, it is testing our patience. Nothing to worry. It is testing our patience. No problem. Product. Okay, some number. Right click. Now query has come or not? Now query has come. Did you notice this? Query has come here or not there? Query has come here. Let me check whether it is supporting dynamic insert or not. Persist method is supporting dynamic insert or not. Persist object test here. So Chairu one some number 8. Control F11. Control F11. Yes, it is supporting dynamic query generation or not there. Everyone enjoyed? Yeah, when I link with DAOs, and layered application, then you will understand the real power of, okay, Hibernate util class. For the time being, you worry this much. For the time being, you worry this much only. Fine here. Okay. In future, I am going to improvise this code. Little bit with try with resource. Try with resource, because Hibernate also supports Java 7 features. Try with resource so that you need not to close session and session factory objects manually. Okay, I'm going to talk about that. Try with resource concept. Miss the sessions. Please revise a try with resource, which is a Java 7 feature. Which is a Java 7 feature. Okay, I'll give some core Java concepts here. You please revise. Okay, in few coming days, I'm going to work with them. Try with resource. Control F11 will work, sir. Check, keep the correct to client application on and run. Try with resource. This is one concept. Next, inner classes. This is another concept. Inner classes. Java 8 features. Java 8 features, especially for each method. Lambda expressions. Lambda expressions. Functional interfaces. Functional interfaces. Interface with one method. Streaming API. Streaming API. Streaming API. Streaming API. Yeah, these are the main things that you try to learn here. Okay, Java 8 interface. Java 8 interface. Java 8 interface. Java 8 interface. What are the other things we are going to use? Optional API. What API? Optional API. Small concept is there. Optional API is there. Okay, optional data. Next, next. Java dot. Some new date and time packages have come here. Okay. New date and time packages have come. Okay. Java 8 date and time. Java 8 date and time. Yeah. Method reference concept also there. Constructor reference, method reference, method reference concept is there. Yes. So please revise once because we are going to use them a lot in our coming days. Boss. Oh, last inner classes I talked. Inner classes I talked. Yeah. We are going to work with these concepts a lot because so many students of ours not only got job because of Spring Hibernate knowledge they are speaking in the interview, they also got the job because of Java 8 knowledge maturity they have shown in the interview. Because they are asking, where did you use this feature in your project? Where did you use this feature in your project? Where did you use this feature in your project? Come on. At that particular time, mm, calendar class is okay, old only. Old only. Old only. Local, no, not local date. It's not local date. Java 8 date and time I'm talking. Fine. Try to revise these concepts as early as possible so that we can start utilizing them in our application development. Fine, na? Right. So these are some core Java concepts. You have to be ready. Anyhow, dynamically I will teach. After the arrival of Java 8 date and time, no need of taking Joda API. Joda API is not required. Java 8 date and time. Before arrival of Java 8 date and time, Joda is required, but nowadays not required. We can happily enjoy with Java 8 date and time API. Fine. Keep all these things in mind. Now, from my side, session is over. Now I will take queries for a few minutes. If you have a queries, tell me now. Okay, Monday class is very important. Error reading and understanding why it came is easy task for you. Years of practice on Java. Maybe because most of the time I feel all errors are known errors. Read the error, analyze the error. Yeah. Listen, tomorrow 11 o'clock, Gradle meeting is there. Gradle continuation. Last session of Gradle is there. 2.5 hour session will be there. Okay, tomorrow morning, no Hibernate class. Next class of Hibernate will be on Monday. Next class of Hibernate will be on Monday. Okay, na? Fine. Same meeting ID. What meeting ID you have used last Sunday? Same meeting ID. Okay, na? 11 o'clock is the timing. 11 o'clock is the timing. Okay, Spring MVC batches August first week or second week. Yeah, tomorrow morning 7 a.m. Spring is not there, but 6 p.m. Spring is there at 7 a.m. 6 p.m. Spring is there at 7 a.m. Please notice this point. 6 p.m. Spring at 7 a.m. because we missed some sessions this week, 2 days we lost. So that's why I'm trying to compensate that loss by calling other students who are early to leave, the whose batches are in final stages. August first week Spring MVC batch in the evening hours. Yeah, get Jenkins will be there, Docker will be there, so many tools. Something I will cover, something your microservices and web service faculties will cover. All tools will be covered here. Okay, don't worry. Git link last same link here. Whatever link you have used last time, same link. If you have not attended that one, please watch it and come. Please watch it and come. Don't come for tomorrow's class directly. Fine? Right. MySQL installation. I think in the Facebook, some group in that discussion happened. Some people have kept resume preparation as promised in the month of August. It will be there around August 15th. Whatever Saturday, Sunday comes, I will take that. I will definitely take that. Definitely, that session is there. No doubt in that. Everyone clear on this point? Fine. I'm winding up the session. Okay. Winding up the session. Yeah, you will get here. While as part of bulk operation, you will get typed query, criteria queries will come. Summer, that's a bulk operation. If you take a method, you can able to propagate, sir. We Razu, if you take a method, but there is a chance of calling that method for multiple times. If that class, okay, boss. If that class is called for if method is called for multiple time, there is a chance of creating configuration object and session factory object multiple time. It is deviating from our main intention. Calendar class is there in Spring or Hibernate also, no sir. No sir. Calendar class is there in core Java, nothing but java.util package. That only we are using in Hibernate and Spring. That only we are using in what? Hibernate and Spring. Please try to understand that. Fine. Yeah, listen, Sailesh, if you have not practiced old style, no problem. Okay. So if you not practice old style, no problem. But now onwards, try to practice with the latest style of Hibernate util only. No problem. You can do that. V Raju, can we take singleton logic now, sir? Sir, singleton classes will be there. Singleton logics will not be there. I don't know with what intentions you are asking that question. I don't know what is singleton logic. Singleton class is there, but right now, see, all static methods means indirectly. Indirectly, we are not creating any object. When you are not creating object, why should I entertain that single object also? Why should I entertain that single object also? Tell me. Singleton means at least one object. Only one object, not at least one. Only one object. And when all methods are static, why that one object also waste of time and memory? Na? That one object also not required. Thank you. Thank you. The people who are admins of WhatsApp groups, urgently disable them. The people who are members of WhatsApp group, urgently come out of it and use our Facebook group to avoid other problems. Fine. Thank you. Have a nice time.